Dr. Lomax. Okay, first of all, this is my homegirl from Chicago. We are
Absolutely.
Southside born and bred Chicago women.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we transplanted into the Atlanta
Yes, we
space and
did.
just created chaos.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Lomax, tell us who you are.
Thank you. Well, I'm Jeneen Lomax. I am a certified nurse midwife, and I'm also a women's healthcare professor. And currently, I'm a medical educator for Bayer Pharmaceutical. So, women's health is just something that I'm extremely passionate about. I have been practicing in women's health for about 23 years. And I've just spent a lot of time focusing on not just pregnancy because I'm a midwife. Everybody assumes that my love and my passion is pregnancy, but it's actually gynecologic care, health care. So my focus has been on contraception and family planning.
Mhm.
So even though I'm a midwife that likes to catch babies, I'm also a midwife that likes to prevent unintended pregnancy. So that's what
So
I've been
let's talk
doing.
about it, sis,
Uh oh.
because
Uh oh.
we know you don't like catching no babies.
Oh my goodness.
And you know what? I think it's important to talk about it
It
because
is.
everyone that hears the word midwife
Mhm.
attributes that to catching babies.
Mhm.
And so I felt it was really important for you to be here so other midwifery aspiring midwives
Yeah.
and other midwifery professionals can know that it's okay for you to venture out into different areas of women's health.
Yes.
You don't necessarily just have to catch babies and take care of women while they're pregnant.
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay.
So I can get into
Can we get
it.
into it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, when I decided to become a midwife, I absolutely was in love with the idea of taking care of women and specifically catching babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw my first birth at 15 years old. It was the birth of my first nephew.
Mm.
And my brother was 8 years older than me. And he just felt like my sister is not going to be a teen mom. I'm going to make her come watch the birth of my child,
Mm.
and it's going to terrify her. Well, it did the opposite. It did the absolute opposite. I fell in love with the magic of childbirth.
Mm.
I also ultimately became a teen mom.
Wow. Yes.
Well, had a teen pregnancy, but I was an adult when I gave birth. But
Mm-hmm.
it threw me into this world of women's health. Like, what is this world? And I fell in love with it. And when I became a midwife, I just knew I wanted to catch babies. That's what I wanted to do. Like, that's what I loved as a labor and delivery nurse.
Mm-hmm.
We catch and we love it. And I'm like, this is what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I become a midwife and I'm working with a physician.
Mm.
And this physician is like, I understand you're a midwife, but you're going to do gynae also. And I was like, I'll do a pap. Yeah, no problem. She was like, no, you're going to do all gynae.
Mm.
And so I was thrown into gynecologic health. Like it was baptism by fire. And I fell in love with it because the woman's body is so dynamic.
Yeah.
It's so complex. There's so many complexities of a woman's body and so many healthcare issues that are unique to women specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And the more and more I like dug into it and learned it, it just became my passion, right? And I'm happy because I don't want to catch babies. I don't want to be on call.
Mm.
I didn't feel very midwiferish at 2 in the morning, right? At 2 in the morning, I was like,
Get somebody else.
we're going to break your bag. Do you want an epidural? Because I'm tired. And when I realized I wasn't midwiferish in the middle of the night, I felt like I might be doing my patients a disservice because I can't just say I'm only going to catch babies during the day, right?
Right.
And I didn't like that about me. I had to recognize that that wasn't me, and it was okay.
Yes.
And unfortunately,
Even though that may not have looked being acceptable to the world of midwifery.
That's just what I was going to get into because in the world of midwifery, what I found was that they wanted to keep me in a box. They want to put you in a box. And even to the world, everybody thinks a midwife looks one way, right?
Very true.
We think one way and we look one way. Christine and I look completely different from what the world thinks midwives look like. I will have to say, yes, I'm a midwife. No, I don't wear long blue jean skirts. I don't wear Birkenstocks. I like Louboutins. I drive a nice car, and I got nice
You better
designer
go ahead.
bags. Right?
Hello? Right. The modern day midwife.
That's the midwife that I am, right? And I
Mhm.
had to have the courage to step out and say, I don't want to be like you all. I want to be like me. I want to be the midwife that I want to be. And I looked at my story being young, having 3 pregnancies before the age of 19, and realizing my patients need that have experiences like me, they need a me in their life. So if I show up as Janine and not show up how everybody wants me to be, I'm gonna have a greater impact. Yeah. And I stuck with it, and that became my jam, my niche.
You mentioned how dynamic the woman's body is, and we know that. There's nothing like a woman's body, period.
Period.
Okay. That's the reason I don't like gynecological health care. I do not like gynae. I don't want to use the word hate, but I just strongly do not enjoy gynecologic care because it is so complex.
Fair.
And my passion is truly with taking care of women when they're pregnant, carrying them through that pregnancy, carrying them through birth and beyond, right? Will I do a PAP here and there? Like, woman care, yes, I'll do that. But gynecologic care is not something that I specialize in. But you know what? You were probably the one person who helped me realize that my midwifery care doesn't have to look like her midwifery care or what she's doing over there and how she's doing that over there. Like, midwifery is such a beautiful world to be in, and there's so many different aspects to care. Whatever you love is what you tap into.
Yes.
And that's how you thrive and flourish in your career as a midwife, be it catching babies or not.